was very much a thorn in the side of BLG in game 1. There's that tank rise build with the Thimble Winter and of course the Frozen Heart. You become very difficult just to burst down, and against something like an Akali, that's very, very useful to have.
Yeah, now for BLG, it's about junglers. We do have things like the Viego still left open if they want to index more into that skirmishing side of things. And then when it comes to counter pick mid, right, you have Victor left open, which could do quite well into that 1v1 with Orianna off the table. There is Corki, who will lose out in the early game, but still, we've seen the monstrous force Corki is, because this is 12.2. He still has not been nerfed yet here in the LPL. That will come next patch.
Come next patch, as we wait to see now the Jarvan locked and loaded here for BLG's jungler Wei, and see what their last pick is going to be. Could flex out Akali up to Breathe in that top side, knowing that they can go into that decent matchup, and yes, that's exactly what they're going to do. So, Victor into the mid lane, you mentioned it there, still waiting on those big nerfs, but very powerful mid lane champion, good at controlling those neutral objectives, especially around the river.
Yeah, and I already hit on that. I expect Nautilus to just come out. Pretty much the LPL special right handshake in the support role. One of you gets Leona, the other one does get Nautilus. And they are just going to lock it in. So, all about the 5v5s coming in from both compositions. For BLG, they have a solid front line, nice back line, and even have Breathe, who will be able to put a lot of pressure coming in on flanks and buying space with his Shroud to force on and Uakai back. And when looking at IG's comp, I do think it is a little bit more indexed into pick, with the fact that they do have the Realm Warp able to come out early on, and Shun on the aggressive skirmisher that Xin Zhao is.
Again, you look, mentioned these compositions. It's very short range here from IG. If you're able to keep Uzi safe on this Jinx, and we know how much damage that Jinx can do, there's a lot of things that you can deal with, or you cannot deal with here on the side of BLG. So IG, they need to be proactive, similar to game 1, and just keep on top of BLG. Don't let them get comfortable. Don't let them dictate the pace.
No. For BLG, I mean, they're kind of fine sitting on the back foot, right? You have Victor, you have Jinx, like you can scale up and farm. Lots going to be on what Wei is able to do early on, because you do still have immobile carries in all 3 lanes for the side of IG.
Yeah, immobile carries and things that are going to be easily susceptible to a Cataclysm gank. We are going to see how both these teams will go into this. IG are coming off of the momentum of their first game win. They were able to just pick apart BLG, weren't able to keep themselves going, and now BLG bringing in Uzi, bringing in a change of pace to try and bring back this series. Like we said, this could be a massive shift in the standings. This could make, if an IG win, it goes to 3-5. They're 1 game closer to BLG. On the other side, it would make a 2-3 game gap for the side of BLG. This could be massive for the end of the year standings.
Yeah, for IG, this could decide everything. And for BLG, right? Because you're not only trying to get in range of playoffs, you're trying to contend for those playoff buys if you can get into that, you know, whether it's top 4 or top 2 position to get as far as you can in playoffs.
All right, take a breath. Bring ourselves in. Of course, we're going to be keeping an absolute magnifying glass on Uzi, but we'll get to him later. We can have a quick look at the runes. And there's nothing really too untoward there. You're going to pick up the area into the mid lane just to give yourself a little bit of extra harassment. Uakai is going to have to try and deal with that one there, as Crisp and Uzi just find themselves a little bit more aggression, seeing if anyone was just waiting by themselves, but nothing too untoward.
Yeah, and I feel like a big focus of this will be this top lane matchup. Like we've said, Breathe, always willing to bring out the Akali into the Gwen matchup. I do think Gwen is a little bit favored early on. You'll just do more damage with your Q as Gwen than you will coming out from Breathe. But with Shroud, it does put a lot of pressure onto Zika in the matchup, as he's just kind of scouting out for a bit of vision.
I'm gonna wait here. This is actually delaying the start here from Wei, but eventually we'll start, and Zika will get full knowledge of that now. So, good opportunity here for IG to say, look, we know where the jungler is starting. We can have decent opportunities here for Shun to make some plays. And on something like the Xin Zhao, we've seen him do this so far this split, just able to make proactive plays as Breathe. See if he can maybe cheat towards these minions. And like you said, he's going to find it difficult to really deal with this Gwen in these early levels.
Yeah, and you know, I like that you're also hitting on the jungle pathing, right? And the early aggression we could see, because Wei also pathing towards the bot side. We were questioning, are they just going to put everything into the spot lane for Uzi? So far, signals do point to yes.
All signals point to yes so far, but Is that the best play for you on the side of BLG? I wouldn't say it's a bad play to put money and resources into the Jinx, but we'll have to wait and see. It is going to be a pretty easy push in here for the BLG bot lane. The Jinx does just outrange the Aphelios in those early skirmishes, and of course we saw Chris being very aggressive on that Leona. It is just how the matchup tends to go regardless of who's in it.
Yeah, and now for BLG, they have 2 lanes of prio. We saw Fofo go with the aggressive Airy trading route. We know Victor in the isolated 1v1 is quite strong against the Rise. Level 1, you're insane with your Q. You outrange him with your E being able to come in. And then later on, your W is quite a nuisance for Rise since he's mid-range, wanting to walk forward and find these trades on you. I do feel like right now we're seeing the top lane matchup for Breathe. If he can get past these 0 levels, he should be fine, but a dive looks like it's going to come out.
I was going to say, looks like they're going to try and maybe force this one onto Breed. He has no flash. He should have a Shroud if he's level 2. Imagine he took that one. Yep, there it is. They're going to get out of it, but important for the side of IG. No one took the aggro just yet. Now they go in underneath the turret. They've got themselves a Shuriken flip, but not enough damage. Zika, though, almost falling down. And that's going to be a really nice investment there from IG.
Yeah, really nice patience coming out for them. Like you said, not taking the aggro too early. And now Weiwei going to be looking towards this opposite side. Crisp going to be looking to set it up onto Lucas.
It's going to be difficult enough. You still have a Nautilus. There's the Xenoblade coming out. You do have the Glacial Augment. The traps go in. They will get the knock up, and there's going to be a kill. Going over to Lucas. Nice response here from BLG.
There it is, Sheen. First assist for Uzi in like however many years it's been. 2019 to 2022. I can't math that.
It's 2 and a bit years because it was late it was about 2.5 years because it was late 2019 and now it's early 2022. There's the maths for you. But again, it doesn't make a huge difference in terms of the way that the game is played. But let's have a look at the replay here because it's a pretty bog standard just CC lock here onto the Nautilus.
Yeah, and we see they're actually able to find it on when he does walk up. But like you said, Lucas walks forward to try and, I think, protect him. The chompers do come out. I think another key thing was that the bone plating had just gotten procced right before that, but we might get a skirmish here in topside.
2v2 might be coming in here, as we can see now. Both junglers, actually, Yukai is here, so straight away, Weiwei and Breed say, nope, maybe don't want this skirmish right now, and back themselves away. I do like this, though, from the side of IG. They're recognizing, like, look, there's going to be a lot of focus down this bot side. If we just take everyone away from that, we can find advantages elsewhere.
Yeah, I think IG's plan is pretty solid, right? We've seen with this roster, it's what it's been. It's been play up towards Zika in the top lane. He has been very lane dominant in regards to finding these solo kills and looking for these aggressive plays. Yukai has kind of reinforced his role as like, hey, I was under Cryan last year. Let's just play a bunch of champions that want to roam and find an impact on the map, link up with Shun's early aggression, and try and shut down this Akali and get this Gwen online.
I mean, On is in a lot of trouble here. He's probably going to have to use his cleanse. Yep, definitely uses that. Does have the Gravitum Dome. They're going to get the hook onto Uzi. He's getting a lot of damage, forced to flash away, but you got to be careful of the kiting now. On's got the Infernum. He's got a lot of potential damage, and that was BLG thinking they had the IG bot laner on the ropes, but move like a butterfly, sting like a bee, as he ends up trading that one back very favorably.
Yeah, Uzi having to burn that flash after the Gravitum does enable the stun to come out. Still, though, for the side of BLG, they've been able to keep up pressure in both mid and bot. Nice cancel coming out from Breeze.
That was just really cheeky. It was just like, and away.
You know, he needs to be cheeky, right? Right now, sitting 400 gold under Zika in that top side, but again, Uzi's on the map. Both junglers hovering down towards this bottom lane. Shun will be spotted by a ward.
I know this is here, but important to note, Fofo will have the push here as Zika gets his ultimate off and won't get any more snips outs. As Weiwei just buying his time. Shun, though, recognizing that maybe something's going to be going down. Here we go. They're going to get the double knock off. Uzi will not get his first kill. It's another one for Crisp, and we're just racking up the assists in this bot side.
Yeah, and BLG are so fast to pull the trigger that we see Shun isn't able to find his way into bot lane. Fofo was also waiting in the wings, had any skirmish broken out. Isn't going to miss any CS on that play either. So BLG doing a nice job of taking charge of this early game, but Realm Warp's coming in.
They're going to get in with the Rise and the Xin Zhao, so they'll look for a hook from Lucas. They're going to try and jump on top of him. The hook misses, though. Uzi's in no man's land, and he should be going down. No! He turns it around, and Uzi gets to go. What happened, IG? You were so separated.
I mean, the fact that Lucas missed a hook on a target that was rooted is so depressing, but there it is. Uzi's first kill back in the LPL. You know, we're gonna get excited at everything Uzi does, just so people know.
I'm done
Kills
now.
the ward, kills cannon minions, we're in. But here we go. Realm Warp comes in. Yukai goes straight onto Uzi, and bam! Hook does not connect from Lucas, or they probably would have been able to guarantee that kill. Instead, it just ensures Shun's death on the opposite side.
I mean, that was just so weirdly disconnected. Shun goes up towards like the tribe rush, trying to find a weird angle on it. Just run at him. You know he has no flash. So very, very curious to see what was going through the minds there of the IG players.
Okay,
but
wait, Asheen, this is my last one. Lucas is an Uzi fan. Okay, continue.
Okay, yeah, it's all part of the script. Don't leak it. God damn it.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Really hard to try and keep this a secret.
Doggo E's forward aggressively 100 times in game 1. Now Lucas comes in, misses hooks on CC targets.
Everyone just wanted to see Uzi play. That's all we wanted. That's all we ever wanted, Lyric. Nothing more, nothing less. But fantastic start here for BLG. They've stabilized, if not accelerated, the bot side. It is going to be about maybe a 5 or 6 CS lead, nothing more. But those kills and assists are going to help out Uzi quite a bit. We'll have the Super Mega Jet Rocket and also the Cataclysm available to the Jarvan. So might see some more aggression coming out here from BLG as the Rift Herald has been started. Shun is there, and Weiwei will use the Honey Fruit to keep himself nicely topped up.
Still, IG won't be able to contest. Their bottom lane did commit to that bottom side, so On at least will be able to answer potentially with a plate down there. I think IG had the right idea, assuming their bot lane hadn't roamed up, of like, hey, get pressure through top side first.
Oh, they're going to go for the engage here. There's the Crescent Garden, and Shun might have gone way too far forward. They get the double knock-up into the Cataclysm, and the Gwen will go down. 2 kills to Bree. So aggressive from IG, and it gets harshly punished.
Yeah, that was such an overcommit coming from their side. Maybe assuming the recalls from their bot lane had already come out, or they'd already started walking down towards that bottom side. Though I think Chris showed in the brush.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll say we'll see the replay for sure. It was super questionable. On at least will be the big benefactor down here on the bottom side. You picked up so many plates. But yeah, Crisp and Weiwei here. So unless they assumed that Breathe is the one who recalled, I can't really understand how you think this play is going to work out. Sure, they are able to pick up 1 kill on their end, but giving over 2 to the side of BLG and even giving them, you know, resets to then get tempo and get back on the map.
Big moments here now for BLG. They've got themselves up by 1,000 gold. They're giving over some nice free time to Uzi on that top side. I will say it was traded back for plates in the bottom lane, so On not a million miles away. Pretty much just the kills and the assist gold difference there. A couple of CS as well, so we should be able to equal it out just as we come into this one here. But again, good start. This is much more cohesive, much more coordinated from BLG. It feels like they have a much more definitive plan, and yes, it does feel like that plan centers around Uzi, but if it works, what's the problem?
Yeah, you know, we are definitely. It feels like we're on track to get the 3-game series that, you know, we all
you have to leave.
That we all of course hoped for.
I'm just gonna say, like in the break, you said you were mentally prepared for 5 games, but if it went to 6, you would leave, so I could bring someone else in. I might bring Hysterics. That'd be cool.
You know? Stop exposing me. As both teams now starting to posture for this dragon. Uzi does have to answer wave and bot side, so for BLG, you're probably going to wait for Jinx to push in that one before looking to walk up more aggressively. Herald on Weiwei. I expect them to drop that one in bot side right now, is On still nowhere near.
Yes, they will probably drop it down. I think IG just get this dragon for free, though. They have 5 people bot side. You've no teleport on Breathe. They're probably just going to end up trading plates in the bot lane, or maybe they do look for an engage, but this would be a 5v4 at best for the side of BLG, and IG will have themselves the run of the mill, so that you can see there, not going to risk it. Fofo, that was so risky there. Could have got hit by the dredge line. Not going to be able to hit the ultimate as they go straight on top of him. Flash forward by Yukai. But now they've got really low health bars. That Chaos Storm doing so much. Weiwei picks up 1. They're going to be able to go on to Shun as well. And they're going to try and give it over to Uzi. There it is. He's now 2-0 and 3. I must say crisp 2-0 and 5. 100% kill participation. BLG are online.
I want to say really nice by Fofo, standing there, just trying to draw their attention, puts in all the damage to set up for the engage, and Breathe the whole time, like you said, just farming up in top side. Now, with those kills, BLG can pivot down towards this bottom lane turret, get some more gold onto Weiwei and Uzi, and now they're sitting themselves pretty with a 3,000 gold lead.
4,000 now if, as the turret does go down. But yes, look, you get this and they don't get the turnaround, but they try and go so aggressive onto Fofo, but great gravity well just to stop people from moving into him.
That's like one of the best things about Victor, right? Is that you do so well against champions that want to run into because of that W, because of that ultimate dissuades them from being able to follow up. And Weiwei with the Jarvan EQ into the Cataclysm to be able to lock people down, find some kills. And now, overall dominant map position for the side of BLG. We already hitting on how later in the game in team fights, they should definitely be favored from a damage point of view. And even when you factor in just the nuisance that Breathe will be, once all 5 members come together is definitely when BLG will be at their strongest.
Well, we're going to have another little move in this top side, and Yukai is dead. He had no flash from the previous play as he tried to make a move, and this just feels like total domination here from BLG. They've just got a renewed vigor, a new confidence in themselves as they just keep finding pick after pick, moment after moment to just get themselves even further and further ahead.
Yeah, I think definitely much more stable game coming out from them this time. Let's be fair, though. Drafts in Game 1 were pretty weird. If you're out there and you missed Game 1, we had a Vigar, we had a Riven. It was fun. But this time, we get standard games. Weiwei.
On. Nowhere for you to go, my son. He's going to get taken down, and Uzi will get the kill. He's tanking up the turret, but he does not care because he's excited. And the Yukai not able to turn this one around. However, though, Weiwei is in a little bit of no man's land. Should be able to flag and drag, though, and keep himself in relative safety. As I say that, they're going to miss out the Q, and looks like Weiwei's going to try and go for the execute. A little ring around the rosy, and he should be able to get himself away. No, he's not, and that's Yukai just about getting in range. So it's a trade of 1 for 1.
Still, the fact that BLG were able to pick up more kills in mid is massive. Then when it comes to side lanes, right? Sure, IG do have 2 champions that comfortably lane in side lanes. Both Gwen and Ryze will be feeling fine, so IG should be able to guarantee at least 1 more lane of pressure. But Akali will be able to do well in the both of them as we see Hero On gets picked off. Nice flank coming out from Weiwei on the side to set up for the kill coming out for Uzi. And then, sadly for Weiwei, he's trapped, pincered in between the members of IG. Would end up going down to Yukai's Ryze.
Yeah, Yukai desperately needed that. He is nearly 2,000 gold behind in the mid lane. Actually, looking at the bot lane, it's over 2,000 gold in favor of Uzi, and this is where BLG seem to look their strongest. When they have control over what's happening, when they have control over how this game is played, that's when this game is just far more in their favor than any other game I've ever seen. Like, you know, we talk about how IG in Game 1 made them play in the mud, made them come down to their level. This one, BLG are stepping above them, chests out proudly and saying, we are better, and that's just how it is.
And I think a large part of that is that IG weren't able to find the same level of aggression around their top and mid lane that they typically do. They did get off one really nice dive onto Breathe, but once Akali starts getting under her levels under her belt, she becomes very hard to dive. She can start going toe-to-toe in those trades with Gwen, and then you always have the Shroud, you have the E to be able to get out from there. So IG never were able to find a repeat play up towards that top side, and then down towards the bottom lane, and there's been complete domination with Weiwei just babysitting Uzi and Crisp.
On needs to be so careful. Yes, he has a cleanse, but he's still missing a flash, and a slow into the multitudes of CC that would be thrown onto him would be just absolutely cataclysmic, as he has to use his own Gale Force defensively, and that's not a good situation. As a Felios, you need to be aggressively pushing with that Gale Force. Not having it available is going to be huge, but speaking of huge, Zika, he's found himself a little bit of a flank now. Tier 1 and mid will go down as Shun and Zika try and just synchronize themselves. They don't know he's here just yet, but they have an inkling that someone's lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, BLG do have Breathe on his way, though, and his teleport looks like it is about to come up. Did just pick up his mythic item as well, so will be able to contribute more in these fights. Weiwei also still having the Herald means they can try and divert IG's attention if they do want to drop that mid first in the pivot.
Yeah, he has to flash. Immediately the Gale Force was used there by Uzi. He recognized he was in a good position. 2-man knock-up from Weiwei. As we can see, Zika now finding himself on the backside, but look at Uzi. He's completely untouched, as is Fofo. And this should be an easy cleanup now for BLG. 1 kill, 2 kill. They'll lose 1 off the back of it. Now Yukai onto Uzi, but he doesn't quite have the damage. The resets are coming in. You can see that Shun is trying his very, very best, but it's just not enough. IG are dismantled, taken away. BLG have everything.
Yeah, BLG gonna be able to pick up a dragon off this one. even maybe push towards the mid lane, get some damage on that turret. Not going to be able to get any vision or take away any jungle camps. No camps in their bottom side jungle, but Uzi at least will be able to push out this wave. And, I mean, BLG now 6k gold up. We're going to go straight into the replay. On got chunked out by Uzi's Gale Force, which I think is massive. Way starting up the fight on the opposite side. Now, keep your eye on Fofo, because he just completely deletes On, who has no good way of walking into River. Zika trying to zone off numerous members on the opposite side of the fight. Gets deleted by Breathe. And then, like you said, Uzi, for a large portion of this fight, as well as Fofo, were allowed to free hit until Uakai finally was able to get onto the back line, but it was too little too late.
This is a decimation right now. IG not looking like the same team in game one. And like you said, it's down to the lack of high speed, high pace advantages they were able to find themselves. Shun hasn't really gotten off the ground. Yes, he's 4 kills, but he's 4-4-0. No assists to his name. And I got to call out Chris, because Chris has been absolutely perfect in this early game, setting up his team, making sure that he's keeping himself relevant and safe, while also getting the kills and the CC down onto the priority targets.
Yeah, one thing we need to remember, right, is that Chris was someone that Uzi specifically wanted to play with. It was said,
right.
So I need to keep watching as Crisp is on our screen right now, posturing aggressively, that Uzi wanted to play with Crisp or Ming. He got Crisp. Crisp is working out perfectly as he does miss the center plate.
Oh, he missed the center play, but here comes the TP. It's going to be a bit of a long kind of flank as such, as the rest of Crisp and BLG try and just keep themselves alive. He goes gold, and they're trying to get the TP now from the Akali on the backside of this. Uzi gets knocked up, but can he get taken down? Yes, he will, and that's a big kill now for IG. They're turning this one around. Shun just keeping everyone busy and interested, and now you're on the opposite side of the map, BLG. How do you get out of this? Breathe, Weiwei, and Fofo need to get out, and IG say, look, you're not worth it. You're not worth my time. We need to push mid. We need to get some gold.
Yeah, but still, look at the top lane on the opposite side. BLG are going to be able to get some gold of their own. They have the Rift Herald. This should be able to get 2 charges as well. I wonder if IG will be able to answer back with that mid lane turret. Breathe is here.
They should be able to get it. Breathe is an Akali, but is not a great wave clear champion. So going to get the second one off, as Fofo will get his back delayed, and that's going to be a nice old bit of farm for Uakai. And we come back into the game, and it's still about a 5,000 gold lead, a little bit underneath it. IG finding a little bit of respite, but definitely not out of the woods.
Yeah, we're going to see here what happened in the replay of BLG getting collapsed on. PPs do start to come out, and they find their way onto Weiwei. Uzi left over on the side. I believe it's going to be Lucas, flashes in, gets the ultimate onto him, commits over. We can see on the opposite side Chris committing the flash, but not able to get away. And overall, Lucas making up for the flub of the hook that he had in the laning phase.
Yeah, and I think this is a big, it's still a positive play for BLG, in my opinion. They get a tier 2 versus a tier 1, so they're not going to be too sad about how this thing went down. But again, IG showing moments of hope, moments of respite where they can maybe look to go for it. And again, we look at the state of the game. They're 1 dragon apiece. They're not really looking at a soul point just yet, so they have got time. And if they can just find the right hooks onto the right targets, they can get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, definitely not down and out yet. 5k gold is a lot to come back from, but as we've seen, if they can get the CC onto key targets, it can work out. I think the scary thing is that Fofo is also pretty big right now, has also picked up the Zanyas, so theoretically, right, they're going to run into him. W's going to come out, maybe get some rotation of spells. Maybe you drop the Chaos Storm, bam. You have to disengage while he's Zanyas or low, then he has the ability to disengage, maybe get off another rotation of spells.
Well, we're going to see him fight now as Weiwei goes way too deep. He trades his life, but look on the other side of this. It's going to be a fight on 2 fronts right now. On has been taken out. Lucas has to flash away. Uzi's getting jumped on here by Shun as he tries to take him out. Uakai is still alive, and so is the Gwen. They take down Uzi, and now Fofo has to flash away. Breathe is in no man's land and has nowhere to go. He needs to fight or run. Triple kill for Zika as the new man in the top lane is still hunting for blood, still looking to find who he can, and Fofo is the only one left alive on BLG.
And how are BLG throwing this away, giving over so many kills to the side of IG? Fofo? This is
He's still dead. Yeah, he's still dead. He's actually
is
this
he?
one back. He's not dead just yet. The burn from the red buff. Oh my God, Fofo! That was insane! He's still going. He's on nothing, but he's going to be flashed on to shut down. 1,000 gold goes over to the side of IG, but that was almost a massive turnaround.
The value of that Zanyas, again, when you could buy another rotation of spells with the time that you are in stasis, it feels so good. We're going to go in to see how this starts, though, because Weiwei gets so far ahead of himself. No one able to follow up. He goes down immediately. Sure, we do see the Victor getting some damage on to follow up. And then the scrappy skirmish breaks out on the back half of the fight with Zika. As, man, our observers are all over the place as this fight was. Shun getting straight onto Uzi. And I just want to say, instead of like going through specifics, right? I think for the side of IG, their composition definitely prefers smaller, scrappier skirmishes when you have shorter range or when you have these like bruisers and brawlers like the Gwen, the Ryze, and the Xin Zhao. So if they can keep finding fights like that are broken up, IG will do well. For BLG, you want the standard front-to-back formation, your 2 tanks in front, Fofo and Uzi behind, and then breathe off on a flank. So for IG, you want chaos. For BLG, you want very stock and standard formulated play.
Game all of a sudden went from in the bag to a little shaky, a little bit risky now. It was a 5,000 gold lead. It's now a 3,500 gold lead. It was a 3-item Jinx versus a 1.5-item Aphelios. That's a 2-item Aphelios. Also, the Ryze is getting pretty big as well. So you have still got the game in your hand, BLG. It is not a million miles away from you just yet, but you got to start cleaning this up because this is getting a bit risky here. I feel like with the start they had, with the players they've got, this shouldn't be as close as it is.
No, this is, again, this is definitely very shaky coming from BLG. We were inspired with a lot of confidence at the start of this game, but I do still think BLG are favored in terms of how fights can break out. BLG have been, I think, way too proactive and ready to pull the trigger onto just trying to find picks on IG.
Bitch. Oh, there we go. Uzi's been caught. He's dead. That's your Jinx out of this fight, but the Aphelios has been traded back. It's all onto the Gwen and the Ryze now. You need to try and make this one work for you as Fofo just keeps away Shun. But IG are doing it. IG are turning this one around, and IG come out with a 3-for-2 trade.
Yeah, IG now going to be able to back off. Still, I don't think they could get any objectives off this. Are they going to try for Baron? They're going to try for Baron.
They can 2-man it. This is the thing. You've got the Xin Zhao and you've got the Gwen. The TP coming in from the Ryze. You have enough tank stats here. The Akali's going to TP on the back of this as well. They know it's going down. It's a 3v2, but the Baron could be that 3rd man that you need. There's the gravity field coming in. They're going to use the mist already as Breathe needs to back himself out. He's ignited by Zika as Fofo trying to use the laser. Fofo trying to keep himself relevant. Fofo goes golden because he can't take any more damage. Neither can Breathe. IG will get the shutdown again, but now Breathe, can he take away these health bars? I don't think he can.
Oh,
from downtown will get a kill back, but can they get out with these health bars? I thought Breathe was going to see that as the go sign, but no. It ends up being Baron to the side of IG. They still have 4 Baron buffs, but oh my god, Lyric, what is this game?
I love the LPL. This is the region of the people for the people. My God, this game is all over the place. The fact that IG had the confidence to look for that Baron is amazing and insane at the same time. We're going to see how this breaks out, though. Uzi walking forward. Yukai sees the opportunity after landing the Flux onto him. Gets rooted down on, is able to lead him. Fofo, though, able to follow up with some big damage with the Chaos Storm ready to go down. And then Zika on the Gwen. We've seen all the Gwen highlights these past few days, how much damage she's able to put out, the amount of healing she's able to get through. As straight into the Baron. My God, Ashin, take this over. There's just too much going on.
So much happening here, and how can you watch this and not fall in love with this region? Fall in love with these players, because even when the smallest of things seem to be going your way, there's always a counterplay. The funny thing is, if Zika doesn't walk over to the left-hand side there, that's a double kill, and I think Breathe goes in onto Shun. That's the crazy how close that could have been. But now, with IG having the Baron buff, they've already got themselves pretty much equal on gold. They're going to be able to push in towards this top side. Now, BLG, you put a lot of resources into Uzi. That's great, but you got to try and defend him now as they go straight back in on top of this. There's the Cataclysm down as Lucas is there. That's the certified CC no longer there to try and lock up Uzi. And now it's all on the 80 carries. Yukai is trying to deal off with Weiwei as Shun flashes over the back. Breathe goes down. They get the knock up and Uzi picks up another one. Now he's excited. Now he's found the Aphelios and the Aphelios falls. BLG, not to be outdone, will take away those Baron buffs that IG got.
Yep, that is the big thing just now. BLG getting some Baron buffs off the members of IG. Dragon will be up in 50 seconds. So for BLG, it's about making your way towards the bottom side, getting vision down in enemy jungle, and making sure you can have the same fight you just found. Because the two key things there, right? One, Uakai was not at the fight yet, and we've seen how massive he has been for IG in these plays. And then 2, for BLG, again, it's about the formation. It's about getting the true front to back, not a fight breaking out on the left on your flank, then a 1v1 happening over here. No. You want Fofo and Uzi to just focus on the targets in front of them. Weiwei is zoning out Uakai on the side, and it allows for BLG to just be able to clean this one up once they were able to blow up Lucas at the start.
Again, like we said, Lucas not having that guaranteed CC to just zone away. Even if you don't get on top of Uzi after the depth charge goes down, it still means that he has to walk away. He can't just tank it up and hope for the best. He now has a GA after picking up all that money. It's because, you know, there's a hook, goes on to Crisp, and there's going to be another fight coming in. Uzi still on the backside here, but Crisp is now dead. They don't have that guaranteed CC as the Aphelios is popping off. You can see now Zika forced to flash away. They will get the root down onto Uzi as Lucas is in a lot of trouble. Now we can get Uzi aside, and a triple kill comes out for the Aphelios, but these health bars are too low. I don't think he can go for it. The Gale Force forward. Uzi finds the kill, and that's going to be an equal trade now as we get Zika pushing into the mid lane, trying to make sure they can't get anything else.
Yeah, we do see, though, it looks like Shun is just focused on the dragon, wants to pick that one up, so they'll be on 2 dragons each. He's a little bit hesitant, knowing both Uzi and Fofo are still up. I also want to point out that, Fofo?
Fofo has got the Zanya still, so he should be able to go 1-for-1 in this one, even at the win. And he's got Uzi in tow, so now knowing where Uzi is, now knowing where Fofo is, the rest of IG should be able to secure that dragon. Nicely done by them, but they're not done with this one just yet. They're still pushing in, trying to find Zika. I feel like this is a wanting to nothing. As I say that, here's Breeze, who's randomly just joined the fray and has got enough damage to take him down. Zika goes down with absolutely nothing, and that's going to be gifted over to Uzi. He's been given absolutely everything he possibly can. Fofo and Uzi are just being huge in this game.
Yeah, I want to highlight the graphic that came up right before the fight started. That I believe Uzi was sitting about 20% of the team's damage at the time. Fofo was dealing 40% of the team's damage on this Victor. Again, it might have shaked up after this fight, but we'll see here Lucas trying to engage onto Crisp. Fofo off onto the side, able to zone Uakai out with the gravity field. And then Uzi allowed a free hit on the back line because, again, when it just comes to frontline hitting frontline, the side of BLG have more DPS, they have more burst coming out, and On able to pick up some kills, but we're going to see here, I believe this is when Uzi goes for the Gale Force play onto On, not respecting it, not you know, following the play because he was getting zoned off on the opposite side, and now we have a Guardian Angel coming out for Uzi.
So Uzi 300 CS, just noticed there as well. So keeping up to his mantra name of being the CS king of the LPL, and now you've got a death cap finish up for Fofo. And as much as we're talking about Uzi, we've obviously focused him a lot, naturally, as we do when someone's playing a Jinx or some kind of hyper carry. I want to try and call out Fofo a little bit. This man has had not the greatest of starts in the LPL, know what he can do, but he has had an exceptional game coming into this one here, specifically looking at how he's been playing the team fights and how he's been able to enable the rest of his team.
Also, Fofo was a top 3 mid laner in the LPL in the last year, right? Like, he was the reason that RA were able to pick up wins. So I definitely think Fofo is a player that needs to be respected. We've seen here the damage he's able to do. He's actually been the only player on BLG that I think have consistently stuck to the team's win conditions. Yep. He's not the one like flashing forward or like aggressively looking for his picks. He's like, no guys, like we should be letting them come into us. We have the longer range composition. That's why he's been sitting back, not giving over as many deaths, and also putting out such big damage numbers.
Well, now IG will step aside from the Solar Flare as the Dredge line comes out. They will get a little bit of damage trade back. It's going to be Fofo, the little bit of a target. They get the Gravitum Moonlight Vigil onto him. Uakai came in on the teleport, but nothing else going to happen. Baron is up and available. Both teams nowhere near the soul point just yet. It's just Gwen by herself over the pit. And has to skip and snip her way back in to try and join the rest of her team. Now, this is where the fights get a little bit interesting. You've wasted a couple of things, but not all engages are down for both sides. So wait to see what they want to do and what they're comfortable with.
Yeah, for IG, like we've said, it's about, I think, Zika and Shun being able to put some fire, put some pressure on Fofo and Uzi. They can break up the skirmish and not just be a straight up front to back. That's what IG need. For the side of BLG, you do have Solar Flare down, but that one will come up quite soon. For IG, your AD carry doesn't have flash, so On needs to play extra careful in this next fight, as he's been getting picked off quite a bit.
Yeah, 6, 8, and 5. Still has 3 items. Is basically 2 items behind Uzi, though, because of the farm, the kills, and everything else. So Uzi did finish off his last item, which I believe was the Phantom Dancer, or maybe he went with the Lord Dominix. I can't remember which order he ended up building them in. But nevertheless, it is a full stacked Jinx. Plenty of damage, and already you can see, using that extra little bit of range, Zika has to respect it and cannot get too close to this.
It's funny contrasting the full build Jinx with 346 CS to the 2.5 item Akali with 168.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's how most people expect it. But now BLG recognizing there were some resets, and they're going to start up the Baron. They are going to be the first ones on the scene. There's plenty of wards here available to the side of IG. Shun up to the top side. Realm Warp going to come in as Zika goes into the Baron pit. Now, BLG need to back themselves away. Breathe goes into the backside. They're trying to find Uzi. Goes into GA. So they've gotten one. Crisp is dead as well, but look at On. He's just doing so much work now, but he eventually falls down. Breathe picks up that shutdown, and after it all, after everything that was chucked at them, Uzi is still alive. Look at these health bars. They cannot stay alive for too much longer. They've lost Weiwei, but Breathe goes back in, and Breathe will be the carry of this particular fight. I don't think IG can still go for this Baron, though, because there's 2 massive carries of BLG still alive.
Still, at the end of the day, IG are the team that come out ahead. A 3 for 2 in favor of IG. It was so close, too, for them being able to nail down the Jinx. I think I saw Zika try and time his fully stacked snip to be able to come out of GA. Maybe it was a bit early. And we're going to see here, right? Shun comes in, goes with the ultimate for the knockback. Nice ult by Lucas as well. GA popped immediately. Weiwei trying to get on the opposite side and Breathe as well, going on to On. Yuakai hoping to follow up on Uzi, but isn't able to. This is where it becomes a Breathe show, the Breathe show for a little bit. He does go in to finish off some of these kills. As also, more importantly, we see IG pick up Soul Point on the left-hand corner of our screen.
Yeah, Soul Point has been picked up and certified for IG. Does feel like IG are the ones coming out on top of this. You know, we're focusing a lot, but On is getting scary big on the Aphelios. 200 years is very relevant right now, and yes, it was BLG kind of trading relatively equally. I think it was a 2 for 3 trade in favor of IG at the end of it, but the GA is now down for the Jinx. You don't have a couple of key summoners as well on top of Fofo and Uzi, so you're lacking in a lot of different options here to keep yourself safe.
I love that you point that out, right? Not only no GA, both of BLG's major carries now do not have flash. To where On did not have flash in that last fight, so his is up now. So for IG, there's theoretically no better time for you to be able to take a fight where On does have the tools to reposition. And if you catch Uzi this time, he is just dead. Fofo will still have the Zhonya's Hourglass to rely on.
Here we go. Baron 2, Electric Boogaloo. As we look to see where IG want to go for it. They're playing with confidence. They're the ones playing to know the fact that they are just going to be stronger with this Gwen, with this Xin Zhao jumping onto the back line. And that's why it's so scary for the side of BLG. But never mind, they're going to go straight in on top of On, who's forced to flash away. Weiwei almost taken down. Can they kill Lucas? That's the question. Uzi's now been jumped on by Yuakai, who gets himself the route down. The Gwen is joined in as well. Uzi is down. The president is dead. And now the rest of BLG are in a world of hurt. They cannot stay here. They lose their bot lane. That could just be Baron.
Yeah, I think this should definitely be Baron for the side of IG. Chaos Storm is still up for Fofo, though. I want to see if they're going to commit.
So quick. It's so quick, though, and you can see now Yuakai retreating back. He has the teleport available to him. They might just try barrel in. They might try end. There's 30 seconds still left on Uzi.
Yeah, I think they can look for it, too. Like, BLG are about to get 2-0'd by IG. This is Uzi's debut. And his squad of rookies is gonna take him down.
Yeah, and Weiwei is dead. He didn't get the flag and drag out. He didn't respect the CC lock, and now you're 2v5 for the last few seconds of this. You need to try and get this. It's all on Fofo and Breathe. Your 2 solo laners need to hold the line. Just hold the door and stop IG from ruining this triumphant return of Uzi, because right now IG do not care.
No, IG are still barreling forward. Uzi is now up, Crisp up as well. They have the lockout.
They're going to try and go for it. There's a solar flare out. Uzi trying to pepper down the damage. Lucas is dead, but Breathe is first to follow. They get the reset. There's On. I think going down. It's a double kill for Uzi. It might be a triple kill for Uzi as he kept them in the game. Uzi has stood up and told IG to step out.
And now for BLG, pigs are coming out on the bottom side. TP from Fofo to go down there. Looks like they should at very least be able to pick up an inhibitor, but yeah, they might be able to end.
Oh my god, they're gonna
it's gonna be
You can see
it's gonna be close.
It's gonna be so close. I don't know if they can end. These death timers are huge, but remember, you still have Fofo and Uzi. This is just to keep you in the series. This isn't even to win the series. This is to give you an opportunity as the base has now been broken. The inhibitor will go down. Uzi is still pushing forward with Fofo. They're gonna look for it. It's gonna be the Nexus turret, #1, going down. I think they've done it.
They got it. They got it.
One fail sweep. Uzi returns and keeps BLG alive in this series.
What a game coming out. I won't say it was a great game. I won't say it was a good game. It was some kind of game, messy by